Let's see. All right. Pardon me for 1 second. All right. There we go. All right. And I am starting here. Hello, YouTube. How's it going? Welcome, welcome. We are on day 2 of our 3-day challenge. It looks like we got our tech issues handled. I am super excited. We were just talking about a little bit of the homework that was done from yesterday. And one of our participants was saying how she already, her thing was time. And what she wanted to do is basically have more time for herself every single day for her projects, because she feels like she's always putting her effort out for everybody else and subsequently doesn't have time left for herself at the end of the day to do her artwork and the things that she wants to do. And so her shift was realizing that she just needed to wake up a little bit earlier in the morning and make sure that she was planning herself into her day. So you want to make sure that you're putting you into your schedule. Don't forget the most important person, which is you. So I am super excited that you guys joined us on day 2 of the 3-day I've had enough life challenge. And really, what this really revolves around is just saying, I've had enough of the things that are holding me back. I've had enough of limiting beliefs. I've had enough of doubt. I've had enough fear of, just everything holding me back. Like, it is time. When we realize that we are the creators of this universe, when you actually realize who you are, truly deeply realize who you are, things change. Because you having any doubt or you not doing for you in some way and taking care of you and making sure that you have the best life, you're literally missing the whole point of us being here on this planet. Because our job is not to be here and make sure everybody else has a good experience. Our job is to be here, make sure that we have the best experience possible and that we share those experiences with others and we teach other people how to do the same thing, right? And so this is where these types of trainings come in so well, is because we're just sharing our knowledge with you. What I have learned is that I will no longer allow anything to hold me back. And yesterday was a perfect example of that, because in the past, especially with technology, I 100% would have been like, you know what, this just wasn't meant to be. We shouldn't do this. Maybe we should just start again tomorrow. Maybe we should hire a tech person. But yesterday I was determined and I made a commitment and I said, I'm going to handle this. I'm going to do this no matter what. And we did. We not only handled it, we did it exactly the way that we wanted to do it today. And we had one tiny minor issue where a room opened up as an audio instead of a visual room the first time. But obviously we want to do live recordings visually. I think it's really helpful. So we were able to adjust. And honestly, this is my dream, you guys. So it means a lot that you guys are even here, that you are supporting this project, and that you are taking this information on for yourself. And I really hope it does make a difference for you. I hope that the things that we tell you and the tools and techniques that we share with you, you can implement into your life and you actually do take this into consideration and do something with this work. Because sitting home every single day doing the same thing that you're doing isn't getting you what you want from your life. If you had everything that you wanted, you probably either wouldn't be here, or, I mean, if you're just supporting me as a friend because you have everything you want, super, super grateful. But like, I don't want to hear another person basically say, man, I wish I could have done that. Or, geez, I wish I always had, always wanted that body. Or I always wanted to write that book. Or, geez, I can't believe I never painted that painting or called that person back or whatever that may be. So really and truly, it's up to us to make sure that we have everything that we want out of our lives. It is important that we are taking those steps every single day to create habits for ourselves that are healthy. Because we learn how to say, oh man, I am so dumb. I can't believe I did that. Or, because we hear other people saying that and beating themselves up. So verbally, you are beating yourself up. So that's one of the first things that you can stop. If you catch yourself, that in and of itself is a form of meditation. Okay. So literally you, catching yourself and bringing yourself back to center and going, no, wait a minute. I started saying I was going to talk nice to myself and I was going to start being kind to myself. I'm amazing and I'm intelligent and I can figure this out. Right. So, can someone mute? I'm not sure who it is, but someone's got some pretty strong background noise. Can you guys mute and make sure that if your camera's off, your sound is off, because I can picking up somebody else's background noise. I'm not sure who it is. Okay. Anyway, so for today, we are excited. Well, I'm super excited. We are going to be talking about basically how to physiologically create a new neuron in order to create a new habit. Because yes, affirmations are incredible. But if you are saying over and over and over, I'm wealthy, I am wealthy, I am wealthy, I am wealthy, but your bank account is at zero, at a negative, or is really low, and you really truly, you see bills coming in, like you're stressed, like, oh shoot, here's another bill I have to pay, or here's another bill I have to pay, oh, I have to handle this, or, and it's like, it's causing stress for you. Then your mindset, your temperature for wealth is set very low. So you need to retrain yourself and realize that wealth is your birthright. Anything that you want to have within reason is your birthright. So there are things that do end up knocking you out with age, but like if you want to go ride a bull in a rodeo, I'd suggest you probably do that as a younger person. Because you could do that as older, but if you guys saw Jackass and saw Johnny Knoxville get hit with that bull, I'm gonna tell you right now, that is not an older man's game. So that is definitely something that you want to practice when you're younger. But I mean, literally your life's passions. I mean, if you do want to go work with the rodeo and you want to work with bulls, I mean, at any age, I'm sure you can. It's your perception. And unfortunately, society tells us that we're supposed to look a certain way or act a certain way or do certain things as we get older. So like, who said you're supposed to go sit in your easy chair and go waste the rest of your life basically not doing anything, not applying yourself anywhere, not learning a new habit or technique? I mean, don't we want to keep our brain young and alive? I mean, things like brain conditions like dementia are literally caused from, yes, there are some physical factors, but not only a buildup of aluminum in the brain, but inactivity. So like parts of your brain are actually starting to die off. You guys, we are barely using any of our body and our brain. We use such a small amount of what we're capable of using. We don't even realize how incredible that we are. You could literally create a schedule and get in a discipline where you can get everything that you want done every single day without any trouble, without any issue at all. And you could always feel fulfilled. But you have to commit to it, and it takes discipline. And I'm a free bird. Like, I love having freedom and I love being able to do what I want to do. And I realized by putting discipline into my life, I got more of freedom. I got more of what I wanted from my life. And how was I able to do that? I had to retrain my brain. I had to retrain my mind. And so I literally started listening to audios every single day that helped me to retrain my brain. Anytime you learn something new, you are creating a new neuron. So right here, right now, at this moment, you're actually creating a new neuron. So the importance of doing this work cannot be understated, truly, with all my heart. I mean, this is one of those things where this is not like, maybe you can do this. This is, if you do the work, this, you will get results. So 100% is definitely not, don't be casual about your life. Don't be sloppy in your thinking. Don't allow your mind to run away with you. Because if you're letting your mind think whatever it wants, you're going to get whatever result you're thinking about. So if you think of that friend that hurt you over and over and over, or you think of that lover that betrayed you, or you think of the business partner that ripped you off, or you think of the bills coming in that you can't handle, or you're thinking, whatever it is, like you can't stand looking at yourself in the mirror, whatever it is for you, if you don't get a handle on that, it's going to run your life. And if you're not happy where you're at right now in some way, in some area of your life, if you don't feel that balance, then take a look at that. It's time to start training and doing something different. Nobody is basically coming to pluck you out of obscurity and say, we got you. It's up to you to build your best life. It's up to you to live your dreams. It's up to you to create the disciplines in your life that are going to help you long term. There's nobody else that can do it for you. I can guide you. I can tell you what I've gone through. I can tell you the disciplines that I've created in my life. I can tell you the habits that I've created. I can tell you how to, you're right now, right there, right now, you're literally creating a new neuron. If you're actually paying attention and you're actually listening and you're taking in this information, you're currently at this moment creating a new neuron, because you are bringing together molecules in your brain for a thought. And then there are little electrical impulses that are actually plugging into that thought. And then there's a type of material, they call it brain glue. I don't know what else to call it, but it's a material that literally comes to the neuron. Like we talked about yesterday, when scientists were looking for the electron was everywhere they looked. It wasn't there a second prior, but as soon as they looked for it, that's where it was. It wasn't like they were going out there looking for them. They were looking in a void space and the electron appeared. And so again, when you're thinking a thought, your neuron will appear. The electricity, the impulse will appear. Now, it will go away just as quickly if you don't continue thinking that thought. So in order to create a new neuron, a new habit, a new pattern, so a new time schedule, waking up earlier, planning yourself into your day, doing those things, you need to think them over and over and over and over until you have created a habit and it's second nature for you. And you can just jump in and do it. It's nothing to wake up an hour earlier and get your stuff done. It's nothing to take an hour off of your lunch break for you to work on your art project. It's nothing to come home and take an hour for your workout or, writing in your journal or whatever that is for you, because you're so excited. And the other key to that, the thing that gives it some super fuel, is feeling happy and joyful about it and thinking about the excitement and talking to yourself in an excited way. We talked about this yesterday. I'm excited about creating the best body that I've ever had. I'm super excited to push my body to the limits and see whatever it is that I can create from it. Like, I'm excited to get tone. I'm excited to walk every single day. I am excited to do my workouts because I'm excited about where I can push my body. Like, I want to know what limits I can push it to. So those are the kinds of things you want to tell yourself. I'm so excited about my artwork. I am thrilled to see what I get to create today. My brain is like this limitless, like, wonderland of imagination that I get to pull from. And I am so excited to see what comes out today. So again, how are we talking to ourselves? Like, are you like going, oh my gosh, I got to go home from work and I've got to cook a meal and I've got to, wash my clothes and I've got to take care of my family and I've got to do these things. And I'm just, where am I going to have time for me? I mean, literally, that's a self-fulfilling prophecy. When you're talking down to yourself and you're talking in that lower vibrational energy, you are literally creating a spell. You're literally creating a self-fulfilling prophecy that you're going to fulfill because you're putting those own words in front of you and you're going to follow through on them. When you say, how am I going to have time for myself? That's the only thing the universe hears is that vibration. How am I going to have time for myself? So make sure that you are practicing every single day. And with that habit, it is literally solidifying that new neuron in your brain. So think the thought of what you want to do, write down your goal, and then create a habit every single day of thinking that thought over and over and over, doing the work, whatever it is. Maybe it's an audio, maybe it's a video, maybe it's you journaling, maybe it's you meditating and focusing on that vision of what you want. Whatever it is, you have to commit to it every single day and you have to do the work. So that is how you create a new neuron, a new thought pattern in your brain. And literally, it is the very, very tip beginning of all the habits and disciplines that will completely change your life. So I'm giving you guys these things in small increments and small steps that you can totally put these into your life right now, even with a totally full plate. Because when you have more discipline and you stay on task, you're going to realize that you actually have more time at the end of the day because you're getting your stuff done in a timely manner. Like, how many times are you sitting there agonizing over that email when in actuality you could have just wrote it out in 3 minutes and been done with it? So all right, so we are switching on to Jesse. Are you ready to begin with today's hypnotist and tapping lesson? Yes, I'm so excited for those of you who didn't get to meet her yesterday. Jessie is a dear friend and millennial, amazing young lady who I have gotten the entire just humbling opportunity to watch her change her life over the last decade. She has really put some incredible techniques into her life. She has learned, she has grown, and she is here to share with you guys. Shared an incredible tapping technique yesterday. So, Jessie, what would you like to share with us today? I'm super excited to have you.
I wanted to talk about self-hypnosis today, and then also about using color to help you. So, and I love that you call me a millennial. So funny.
Well, you pretty much are.
I mean, yeah, I am, but it's just funny for introduction. So my name is Jessie. I'm a certified hypnotist, and I want to talk about self-hypnosis. So for self-hypnosis, what you're going to want to do is, with a pen and paper, I hope that you guys are taking notes. You're going to want to write down your top 3 things that you'd like to create in your life. So you're going to want to write, what does it feel like? What does it smell? What is the sound when you have it? And just really flesh out all the details so that you can really experience it. Some people are more visual, other people feel energy more. So whatever is your dominant sense is what you want to focus on for self-hypnosis. And so you'll just write out your story. So you could put yourself on a beach, you could put yourself on a mountain, and just talk through using present tense statements. So you would say, I am living at the beach, or whatever it is for you, or I am driving the car of my dreams.
Mm.
And then what does that car feel like? How's your audio system? How fast are you going? You just really put on in all the details. And so you'll write it down, and then you can just easily make a recording with your phone, and you listen to it at night or right when you wake up in the morning, because that's when your brain is in theta, and theta is where we can really transform our subconscious mind, because most of the time in waking life we're in our beta state, which is just, our hectic culture where we just got to get stuff done.
Right.
And the brain isn't really talking to the subconscious mind as much.
Right.
And that's the key to making change.
Nice. So getting it down deep into your subconscious, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I really like to play with color. So this is more of like a woo-woo technique, but I like to put white light around me, or sometimes I put rainbow around me. And it's interesting how the day will change based on like the color I focus on. So I feel like rainbow is good for when I want to be more social and just like have people more drawn to me. And
I love that. So like you could do, like if you were like doing money mastery or working on like wealth building, you could do green.
Yeah.
I love that. That is so cool. And you think that kind of supercharges it a little bit?
I really do. Yeah.
Okay, so take me through like a step-by-step hypnosis, like so a self-hypnosis, like so I decide that I want something. So my children's, okay, so I have these stuffed animals that I want to do for my children's books, right? So I've got the children's books, I've got the NFTs, and then I want to do some stuffed animals with them. So that's what I want to visualize for my hypnosis. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
So then I would make a recording of myself talking about already having these stuffed animals and how I feel like I am so excited that I have my stuffed animal line out and it is available for purchase at these stores, like that type of thing.
Yeah, and you would want to also think about, what does the stuffed animal look like? What does it feel like? Whatever your dominant sense is what you want to focus on.
I love that. So now, and you said to record it and listen to it before we go to bed in the morning. When's the best time to listen? And listening to ourselves. Now, I've actually heard that is some of the absolute best hypnosis that you could possibly do is your own voice.
Yes, that's true, because your subconscious doesn't have any blocks when it comes to your own voice. Wow. But if you're listening to somebody else, there might be resistance there.
Amazing. Yeah, like if you were angry at a man and you had a man doing hypnosis on you, it may not take as well or something. Or you were mad at somebody with an accent and somebody with an accent came on and did a hypnosis thing. I could see that. Because people associate, language is a big deal. People associate a lot with language. So, so with what's the best, is there a time where it should be a length of time? Like, does it need to be a certain amount of time, or?
I don't think a certain amount of time, but what I would recommend is, in the beginning, don't talk or make it so that you're like starting to get calmed down. I messed up my first one that I made. I spent all this time on, what's it called, GarageBand to try to make it all professional sounding for myself.
Yeah.
But I didn't put in the part where I'm just calming myself down before I start talking. So I first put like some calming music in there.
Got it.
For like a couple minutes, so you can really just kind of wind down from
I
the
love
day.
that.
And then launch into your I am statements.
Amazing.
And I think it would be good either before bed or right when you wake up, or you can do both. But definitely one of those times, because that's when your brain is most open to suggestion.
Okay, so soft wind down music. And so it's
Yeah.
you're kind of basically getting into alignment, you're getting present, you're letting everything go. So however long that takes, whether it's 10 seconds, 30 seconds, a minute. So just some kind of nice gentle music.
Yeah.
And then you said I am statements. So like I am courageous, I am powerful, I am devoted, I'm committed to my project, things like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have my NFT stuffed animals.
Okay. And then so after the I am statements, what else would be beneficial to have in there?
Just making sure it's in the present tense for whatever you're talking about.
Right. Okay, and you want to talk like you're in the future and you already have it, right? So like for example, I'm like I'm so excited that my stuffed animals are in this this you know toy store now, FAO shorts. Okay, I'm so excited. My toys are in FAO shorts, and people can get them year round, and they're so soft and so cuddly and so squishy. And I love the little faces and like things like. Is that literally like I want to talk to myself like that?
Yeah.
Very cool. I love that. Okay, does anybody else have any questions for Jesse on the techniques, the tapping, how we're doing? This was so what Jesse was going over was creating a self-hypnosis tape audio for yourself to use in the evening time or in the mornings. In the mornings, I do meditations mostly in the mornings because I like to plan my day. But I love this because you're literally creating a movie in your mind of your future. Basically, with this audio, it's helping you to set up a movie in your mind, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And so you're playing this future movie in your mindset over and over and over. You know what I mean? Like, so like this is a really positive thing that you can solidify your belief that not only you're worthy of having it, but that because once you in the spiritual realm, once you start manifesting, it's actually already there because your idea actually creates the physical thing, if that makes sense. So you guys coming up with the idea of whatever it is that you want, your book, your artwork, your car project, whatever that is, you guys thinking of it literally creates it, and then you work towards getting up to the physical manifestation of it. And how you do that is by staying on target, staying on track, and actually focusing on that every single day. So amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jesse. Yes. Yes. I love that.
I just want to share one more thing really quick.
Yes.
So in law of attraction, I feel like a lot of it is very masculine dominated, where they'll tell you, take all this action, but you have to also bring in the feminine energy, and I feel like this is really feminine.
I love that.
And getting into alignment. And I mean, the action is good too, but there should be a balance.
I love that. I love that. And speaking of divine masculine feminine balance, I am very excited to welcome our next guest. So real quick before I do, Jesse, where can people find you if they want to get more information, if they want to get any tips or tools, or they want to tap into you for hypnosis, private sessions, learning how to do their own hypnosis, maybe going, and now you do provide a service too where you will do a private hypnosis tape for somebody specifically, correct?
Yeah.
So maybe you can, so you guys, if you have something you're trying to get through, if you're trying to lose weight, stop smoking, if you have something where you feel hypnosis can help, Jesse can make you a private hypnosis tape just for you, or show you how to do it yourself. So where can they find you, Jesse, if they want to get more information?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter or Instagram. I have my link in bio there.
Cool. And then we'll make sure that we pin all the coaches' information here in this room. So anybody, you can tap into any of the coaches at any time. Speaking of, I am very, very excited. We had so many technical difficulties yesterday that I am blessed to have an amazing Shaw woman. She is a spiritual goddess. This woman is literally somebody that I personally hired for my own coaching because her depth of understanding with the human spirit is unlike anybody I've ever experienced. She's an amazing warrior for not only her life, but other people in general. And I was blessed to get to meet her in person at one of the retreats. And meeting this woman in person is literally like me. It's, you know, it's a humbling and honoring experience when someone helps you to feel who you truly are. There's magic in that. And so I have this incredible honor to introduce C. Telez to you guys. So welcome, C. We did it. Yay.
Woo! First of all, can you guys all hear me okay? There's some background noise that I hope is not coming through.
So if you guys are if you're on the video, make sure that your audio is on mute, please.
Can you guys hear me talking at this level, or do I need to project more? How's the good? Awesome. So I didn't get to share what I wanted to share yesterday, so today I'm actually going to bridge the two, which is actually quite beautiful because they flow with each other very well. So I want to actually, before I jump in, I just want to share a little bit about my background. I am a Mexicana, born and raised. My family lives here in America, and I've had the privilege and honor of being raised with a grandmother who was a curandera, a shaman. So from the age of 7, I was at her wing, and just kind of all the traditions that get passed down to the next generation. Now I'm in school for psychology to bridge shamanism with psychology in order to be able to assist and help others at a wider scale. So I apologize for being late. I was actually in class. If you guys have any questions about anything, please let me know. One thing that I did about emphasizing, they are not therapy. You need to go to therapy if you're struggling with your emotions in a way that you cannot deal with your own personal life. And I really like to just reiterate that because going to therapy is self-care. It keeps your health fully balanced, mind, body, and soul when we're struggling with our mental health.
Absolutely.
So just to put that out there. So I wanted to actually talk about dealing with tough emotions. And the reason I wanted to talk about tough emotions is because oftentimes, especially in a Western civilization, we want to label these emotions as bad, when in reality they are neither good nor bad. They just are part of the human experience. And with the human experience, we're going to go through highs and lows, kind of like the ocean's tide rises and falls. That's how we go through our life. We go through these personal seasons. Aside from the earth having her seasons, we each experience our own seasons. And for some of us who have been on this world for maybe plus 40 years, we've noticed our seasons come and go, and maybe we haven't tracked them exactly, but we recognize, like, whoa, I have felt this grief before. Whoa, I have felt this immense joy before. And sometimes joy isn't always good. It can be reckless when we aren't aware of how to channel that joy properly. Just like sometimes grief isn't always bad. It can actually be used as our seed so that we can grow in a way that we didn't even think possible for us to grow, but Spirit had different plans for us, right?
Right.
So we all go through these emotions, and one thing I wanted to make clear was that our lows, they don't tend to be bad. They're actually kind of more growing pains. You know, they're the pains that we experience when we're buried in the soil and our roots are growing a little deeper so that we can grow a little taller. And our highs come from experiencing those lows, allowing us to extend our wings so that we can fly to whatever dreams we are curating in our own life. And if you are really into the dream world, I missed Jesse's portion, but hypnosis is a great way to integrate your dreams into your reality.
Absolutely.
So I highly recommend working with her. If you're going through a dark period and you're wanting to plant seeds, that hypnosis is going to do wonders for your life. So things that I usually teach others when they're going through tough emotions. I'm going to focus more on tough emotions than the joys.
Mm-hmm.
Because tough emotions tend to be a little bit more unsettling in the body for us sometimes.
Right.
So the first thing is you don't ever want to judge yourself or make assumptions about how you should be feeling. You know, our feelings are our feelings, and oftentimes when we make assumptions or judgments, we're tending to project our inner world to our outer world. And that's when we kind of begin to create chaos. We begin to create drama in our lives because we're projecting our inner feelings into our outer world.
Right.
And it's amazing how when we learn to understand that, we're able to actually hold grace and compassion for those who are trying to project their inner world onto us. For example, maybe we have a abusive parent, right? A parent that's just emotionally or physically abusive, and we can recognize like, whoa, that's their internal world, and it has nothing to do with me. And unfortunately, we won't be able to see that until we've exited that world and have like a bird's eye view. But once we're able to get there, we're able to heal that and recognize that that's not us, and we can clean those shadows from our auric field. Another thing is reevaluate your boundaries and who you're allowing into your space when you're going through a grieving period, through a low period. Sometimes grieving comes in sadness, it comes in feelings of loneliness. And the older we get, the harder we grieve. I think it's important to recognize that grieving is so normal, regardless if you have a reason to grieve. Sometimes we have no quote-unquote reason to grieve. We just feel immense sadness because of what we've been through. Our body remembers all the life that it's lived, whether it's from this life or a past life.
Right.
Our body really holds on to that. So it's so important to just hold that feeling. Kind of what I like to do personally, I like to give that feeling a space where I'm watching this feeling. I'm going to use grief because it's what I personally just went through this summer. I grieved the whole summer. So I watched my grief and I asked my grief, why are you here? What's your purpose? I have no reason to feel this way, you know?
Wow.
And I saw myself wanting to judge it and wanting to tell myself, it's summer, I should be enjoying myself, I should be happy. Why am I feeling sad? Why am I feeling alone?
Right.
Even though there's so many people around me. So kind of seeing that as a child and treating it with that tender love and compassion and just holding it and not judging it, but letting it be as it is, which is grief. Eventually that gets to be transformed, and it doesn't mean that we won't see grief again. We will see grief again, but we're going to see like grief come back, and where we saw it as a 2-year-old, now it's coming back as a 5-year-old, right?
Right.
Eventually it's going to come back as a wise, 80-year-old that's able to teach us something. And sometimes we don't always get wisdom or, reasons for why we feel that way. It's just about learning to understand how can I cope with this feeling living a side of me instead of letting it drag me down or drag me back or keep me from living life. Something I really like to emphasize is even though you feel sad, even though you feel grief, keep living, keep showing up, keep going out and enjoying your friends, even though you're not going to be your best self.
Yes.
Keep living, because when you start to recluse yourself because you're feeling a way that you don't accept, that's when you start to make choices to walk over to the side from mental health to mental illness. And that's where, severe depression begins to be watered. Those seeds for depression or, like mental illness that can cause us to not be able to continue to live. Eventually it becomes worse. So in community is where we heal. Oftentimes we believe like, oh, I have to heal by myself. I can't let people see me this way.
Right.
That is not true.
Right. Because it almost feels weak. It feels like a weakness.
Exactly. People feel like they will be seen differently when in reality, people love you. People want to support you. And just because the people that you want to love you might not, quote unquote, love you how you want to be loved, there's other people out there that are so ready to love you that have just not met you yet. And they're waiting to meet you. So keep showing up. Another thing that you can do when tough emotions show up is clean out your mind, clean your room, clean your environment, donate everything and anything that you don't use. Look at your things in your room. If it doesn't bring you joy, give it away. It can bring joy to somebody else. And in that process, you're creating a cycle, and that allows everything to clear out, and so that the new can come in. And you don't know what the new is yet, right? Only Spirit can know, because hey, we're living this life, right? So cleaning your surroundings, and not just your surroundings, but your room, the people you're allowing in your life. Sometimes it even means like, hey, Mom, I love you, but you're hurting my feelings and my self-esteem, so I'm going to take some time away from you to recuperate, right? That's just an example. Fill in the blanks with the people and the situations that you experience. But it's really important that we recognize, like, sometimes we do need to distance ourselves, but also it doesn't mean distance yourself from everything. It means distance yourself from what's depleting you, from what's not serving you, and put your feet in the water of what will nourish your soul, your body, your mind.
Beautiful.
One last thing to dealing with tough emotions is make sure you make time to hibernate. When we're dealing with tough emotions, quote unquote, that's our winter season, right? When we're dealing with joy and love, those are our summers. And we can have 8 different seasons in 1 month. Everybody's different. Sometimes I have one season for solid 3 months. Those are like the best when it's like the summer, right? But oftentimes, I recently went through a winter where I was in a winter for all of summer and some of the beginning of my school year, some of fall. So I really hibernated. I did self-care. I made sure I always went on my morning walk or run if I had the energy to run. Sometimes we don't have the energy when we're in our winter. And it's really important to recognize that and honor that you don't have the energy. So ask yourself, how can I show up in a way that still gives to myself, even though I don't have the energy? Maybe it's just sitting on the grass and staring at a tree for 5 minutes and just doing that. Maybe it's just going to get the mail. Those little things create wins in our day, which are going to lift our self-esteem. Our energy will rise through those wins, right? Don't make it unrealistic goals like, oh, I'm going to run 8 miles tomorrow.
Right.
Because then you're actually going to end up feeling worse. And you're going to lower yourself into that winter that you're going through.
Right.
So just to come back around to all of it, life is full of seasons, and we won't always be in the winter forever. So embrace the winter so that when the summer comes, you can fully appreciate all the light and nourishment that's coming through you and pouring out of you. So that was what I wanted to share with you all yesterday. Today, Kat, do we have time to go in for today?
Yeah, we've got about 18 more minutes total, and I do have a little bit of homework with the close. So maybe about 10 more minutes.
You got it.
Awesome.
I'm going to try and cut it down to 7 minutes so I can take your guys' questions.
Awesome.
The floor is open. The floor is open to y'all. So day 2, today I wanted to talk about riding the waves of life. So yes, earlier, right, we talked about the tough seasons, the emotions. This one's about riding the waves of life. So you're going to be riding the waves with the seasons. If you guys don't understand my metaphors, I apologize. We Mexicans speak in many metaphors. We tend to use nature as like our teacher.
Yes, so I love it, sister.
Nature. So riding the waves of life kind of means paying attention to your personal seasons. And you'll recognize that your body, your internal mind and body has seasons. I've experienced a major trauma in my life. So I actually call one of my seasons, I've preferred a term traumaversary. So I know when I'm coming around to a certain month, of where I've experienced deep trauma,
Right.
I tend to go into heavy winters. And the more I recognize that, the more I'm able to plan ahead for myself. Like, okay, I'm not going to schedule anything during these months because I already know I'm going to go into a deep hole. And every time every time another cycle passes another year, I notice I go less and less deep into that area. And it's because I'm healing, right? I'm doing the work to heal, as you are all healing, because you're here, you're showing up for yourself. So I know you're doing the work. So it's important to understand your seasons. What helps me is journaling. I don't know if you guys keep a journal, but go back to your old journals and recognize where do I fall into these patterns of winter, and when do I feel my summers? Is it when my family comes to visit me that I feel like I have summers for 2-3 weeks? Pay attention to those things, because then not only are you able to ask for the support that you need from your loved ones, your family, your community, but you're able to recognize how to plan ahead to make sure that you're taking care of yourself the best that you're able to.
I love that. So smart.
So we women, you're so beautiful. Thank you. So we women, we have cycles within our moons, our periods. So whenever we bleed, we actually have seasons within the month with our blood. So for those that don't know, when we're actually in our bleeding, we experience our winter, and then as we come out of our winter, we experience our spring, when we tend to be more fertile, and then we start to go into our summer, where we have a lot of energy, which is that third week, and then the fourth week, the week right before we're about to start our period, we go into our fall, when we start to slow down. So recognizing those seasons within your personal seasons, your moon seasons, with your emotional seasons, is going to really help you create a dynamic that's very sustainable. And not only that, but allows you to use the seasons to your advantage, right? Like, for example, you're not going to go plant your seeds in the winter, right? You're going to wait and plant them at the right time, so that you can have your crops blooming in the spring, so you can have a harvest that's just full and nourished. Work with yourself the same way. Plant your seeds, oftentimes in the summer, you can have events that will be planned. So I plan my retreats for my summer seasons, and in the winter time, I rest and I nourish myself. And sometimes even if I have the energy, because we can get really creative in our winters, I'll start planning them and throwing ideas and brainstorming, but they don't bloom until my summer, for me personally. Everyone is different. So I highly recommend working with your cycle. For those who have experienced menopause, you're at an advantage because you've already gained all your wisdom from your period cycle. So our moon cycles, every time we have a moon cycle, they say a woman's receiving wisdom, right? By the time she reaches her menopause, she's complete. She's reached all her wisdom. She's got all that innate wisdom within her.
Oh, that's so cool.
You're still going through cycles, though. You're still having, within that moon phase, you're still having your spring, your summer, your winter, just like if you would have when you had your period. Start to pay attention to how you're feeling throughout the months. You can start to recognize, oh, okay, this is my spring. Oh, okay, this is my fall. I'm feeling grouchy today. Like we all have that, and just because you're no longer having that flow of blood, it doesn't mean that you're no longer in those seasons, because as women, we are one with nature, and we are coexisting with her. However Pachamama feels, however Mother Earth feels, it's reflected within ourselves.
Yeah.
So it's really important that you recognize that you are Earth, you are nature, and allowing yourself to deal with the emotions of nature, like the tsunamis and the hurricanes and the earthquakes, as well as the beautiful sunny days, and allowing yourself to flow with the moon, right? Sometimes she's full and sometimes she's empty. Allowing yourself to move with those waves of life is going to really help you understand and get to know yourself better, but also allow you to show up in a way that lets you be your best self, even when you're feeling not like your best self, right? Because people are not going to notice that you're not feeling your best self. That's personal. Only you are going to know. It's when it starts to affect our daily life that somebody's going to be like, whoa, are you okay? It looks like you're struggling, you know? So with that, I am complete. And the last thing I wanted to share about riding the waves of life is this is a quote I just came up with earlier. Riding the waves, learning to surf it's a fun experience, but it's also a very challenging experience. It's not easy. And when we're beginning to learn to surf, we're going to tumble in the waves. We're going to fall off the board. We're going to eat shit. We're going to get cut on the reefs. We're going to feel like we're drowning.
Right.
So don't think that, once you get the seasons, we're good. It's like you got to learn your seasons, how they work, how your mood plays into a role in those different seasons that you go through. And you'll start to understand, wow, I can really swim here. I can really catch any wave I wish to surf, and I'm set and I'm enjoying this life. So with that, I am complete, and I open the floor for any questions for the last couple minutes that we have. If anyone has any questions, if not, I pass the floor back to Kat.
Amazing. Isn't she amazing? Oh my gosh, you are just such a gift. You are truly just such a gift, honey. I mean, you are miraculous. What do you got, Jen?
Thank you for having me. Jen, will you unmute so we can hear your beautiful voice?
Oh, you're muted, honey. I can't hear you.
Okay. I thought it keeps muting. Okay, I just wanted to say that I didn't think it could get more positive and wonderful than feeding off of Kat's energy. But I have to tell you, I love this. And a little surfing analogy was wonderful. I'm totally going to make cutouts of the seasons so that I can by the day recognize that, so I can help myself get through
I love that.
That's so great.
What a great idea. I love that idea.
That's a great idea. Yes. I'm going to write that down and use that as well. I love that.
So, C's, and I know you're back on tomorrow, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so so if anybody wants to ask questions, if anybody wants to tap into it, I know that, and so when we talked about yesterday too, you guys, when we do the retreats, these are literally the coaches that are going to be at the retreats with us. So Jesse, C, and then we have another gal named Bettina. We are all going to be together coaching you for the retreats. So we do have. We're still in the process of planning those, depending on where it's going to be. We're probably going to do here one in Washington, and then we're going to do one on either Arizona or Southern California. We are looking at January. So, just to get out of that gloomy time of year, just to restart. And it's the beginning of the year, so building some momentum. So, but we're thinking, I have a really amazing line on a place here in Washington in January, but we're thinking maybe it should be somewhere sunny, like Southern California or Arizona. But leading up to that, we're going to introduce it tomorrow, because anybody that's on the live call, we're going to massively discount. But we do have a coaching package that all four of us coaches are going to be doing, and it's a 4-week program, and it's about a $4,000 to $5,000 coaching package. But for anybody that is on this call that is doing the 3-day challenge with us, we are literally offering a massive scholarship where you're only going to have to pay $997 for the entire coaching package. And that's literally us donating our time. That's literally us giving our time. It's obviously covering expenses and things like that. So it's something that we'll tell you more about that tomorrow. But it's in addition to what we're already doing now, because we want to pour into you now. We want you to know, we don't want budget to stop anybody from healing. We don't want budget to stop anybody from living their very best life. We want to continue to pour these tools and techniques into you. We will always be doing free content. But for me, I'm the type of person where I want full immersion. I want to be with the coaches. I want that personal one-on-one. That is what helps me to move in my life. And everybody's different. Some people can read out of a book and they can do self-study. And my God, I admire those people so much. And I can do it to a point with certain things. But when it comes to me being the best version of myself, I want to be around other women that are living that are literally being that. And men too. I've gone to some incredible neuro training retreats, neuroscientist retreats, just life retraining types of things. In fact, Jesse and I just did a full, oh my God, for 6 weeks, we just did a 6-week course with some incredibly high level coaches, taking us to the next level in our business. And so this is all in an effort for you to feel your best, for you to be the best, strongest, most capable version of you in order to you unlock your life and live the best that you can. Because you living your best life, being the supportive woman that you are, it enhances what you already do. Because you're already giving, you're already helping, you're already doing everything that you can. You're giving every moment or every second, you're giving all your energy to other people, and you're keeping very little for yourself. This whole program is for you to switch, literally completely switch that dialogue, where you are the most important person in your life. I mean, because Debbie, you are. I know you. You're a caretaker. You're a giver. You know, you give and give and give. And that's why we all vibrate together. Jen, you're the same way. Sally's the same way. C and Sally, we're all the same way. We're like, we are givers. And we love to give of our emotion. But what we forget is that we're 99.99% energy. So when we're giving that energy away, we're literally giving our whole selves away and keeping very little for what we need to feel balanced and feel okay in this life, and to be able to walk with confidence and strength and continue to pour into others out of the excess. So all this incredible
to 70 and still not feel like you found your path.
Right. And it's time. It's time. It's time for you. This is your time. This is our time. I keep saying that. You know what's so weird? You know how I kept saying yesterday it was our time? It's like the Goonies. Guess what freaking show was playing all on Paramount all last night? One right after the other. The Goonies.
The Goonies. If I could add to what you're saying,
please.
You know, I've been to many retreats, not just as a coach, but actually as a participant, right? Because in order to be a healer and help others, I have to do my own work.
Yes.
Otherwise, I'm just going to be leading the blind. And what I can honestly say is every time I've gone to retreat, it is such an investment. Yes, on myself, but it's an investment, right? And to compensate for that investment, I don't really like spend money, what we call gastos hormigas, which is like costly ants. I don't really like buy or save money there because I use that money and I save it. And I love going to retreats. I love to travel and go to retreats that are outside the world, especially workshops that can teach me something new that I can bring back to the table and share with my family, my friends, you know, my sisters, people that want to work with me and have my guidance. I'm always like, yes, how can I learn to help these other people heal? But aside from that is, don't ever think about the money, like having it or not having it to do these things. If it's calling to you and you say a full yes, trust that it will happen. Spirit will make it happen if you say that full yes. And even if you're like, I don't know how I'm going to do this, talk to the coaches, talk to Kat, because oftentimes there's an energy exchange that we can do. You know, at these retreats, we need chefs that if we don't have to pay the chefs because they want to be a part of the retreat, that helps lower the cost for you, right? Because everything's budgeted and we have to budget in the cost of the place and the food and the expenses and the gifts that we get you guys so that they can support your healing journey, the tools like, you know, I've done yoni wands and yoni eggs to help with root chakra healing, but it's different for every retreat. So don't ever let anything monetary stop you. Always speak your truth and say, you know, I really want to be here, but right now this doesn't look like it's in my cards. Is there any way I can support you or you can support me that, you know, can make this happen? And I can tell you 9 out of 10 times, it's the women who have needed that support end up being, you know, the people that help us set up or the chefs in the kitchen or, you know, they come and do massages for all the ladies. And
right.
There's an exchange there. So don't even feel like you're limited. The only limits are your own limits that you place on yourself.
Absolutely. She's dead on. The only limits are the ones we place on ourselves. I mean, because, and again, you guys have to realize before they even made money, there were exchanges of other things. I mean, Native Americans and Spaniards and people literally, they used to trade beads and they used to trade spices and they used to trade metals and artwork, literally clothing, you know, pelts and things like that. And so
I better get busy on my medicine bags.
Exactly right. And so that's, again, I mean, creating for healing is what's the goal of all of this stuff anyway. So if you're contributing to the retreat, you're contributing to the classes and things like that, like the coaches, like we're all on here coaching, but we're still learning from each other, right? So even when we pay into a coaching course, so again, C is dead on that I mean, I will learn from the best of the best because I want to pour into other people, but I've got to be right. I've got to be authentic. I've got to be, you know, balanced within myself because I don't want to come off as being a phony. I don't want to become off as like C saying the blind leading the blind.
I've never seen you as a phony, girl.
Yeah.
You have always been glitter and sparkle.
Thank you. Well, it's genuine. I do the work. That's why. It's genuine. I mean, when I'm happy, I'm genuinely happy. When I'm sad, I'm genuinely sad. Like when I'm concerned, I'm genuinely, you know, like I have genuine emotions because I've put the work into it.
Oh, we got the color going here.
I know. I saw that. I know. So I want to make sure that we are honoring everybody's time. We are at our time for today. So first of all, thank you to the coaches. I will make sure that I will pin their information for you to find them individually. But all of our coaching packages are all of us together. Hopefully you guys will get a chance to meet Bettina. She's amazing. She teaches body training, yoga, divine feminine, basically like immersion. So kind of like an interweaving of your feelings, your emotions, your body. She's another amazing cause. But when you do the coaching courses or the retreats, you get all of us, which is unbelievable because individually it would be that same price or more to hire one of us, let alone getting all four of us for 4 weeks. So,
right.
Yeah.
Everyone's in such a mess. There's no mental health anymore.
Exactly right. And they did take mental health away from even Washington State. I was a registered counselor here in Washington State. I have a bachelor's in communications. I have over 20 years experience counseling people, families, couples, corporate training. And Washington State changed the law where you needed a psychology master's, not just any master's. You had to have it in psychology because they wanted you to be able to prescribe pills to people.
You know what, though? Can I just say this? That is really scary and sad.
Yeah.
Because you can have so many prescriptions and things like that, and it's just so...
It's a Band-Aid.
Oh, my gosh. It's a Band-Aid, and it's so generic and
right.
whatever. And unless you feel it in your soul or your energy and you're self-aware, like all that stuff matters so much. That's just, it makes me so sad.
Right.
So much hands off.
It is. It's very hands off. So let me real quick. I'm going to shut down my YouTube. Give me just 1 second. So YouTube, thank you for joining us today. I hope you enjoyed today's session. We have one more session tomorrow for day 3. Your homework tonight. So what I want you to do is I want you to become solidly aware of 3 things that you are telling yourself that is holding you back. So I want you to tell yourself and write them down. So for example, I don't have enough time. I don't have enough energy or oomph to do this. You know what I mean? Whatever that is. So write down 3 things that you know are keeping you from living your highest and your best. And I want you to have your goal written down. So one goal that you want by the end of the year. So a 90-day goal. So by the end of the year, so something that you would like to have accomplished that would make you feel fulfilled by the end of the year. So in the next 3 months, something that you can accomplish. So that's your homework for tonight. YouTube, thank you so much for joining me. I will be back again tomorrow live at 11 a.m. We finally got our tech issues handled. If you want to continue this conversation, please make sure that you are finding us on Facebook. There is a public group, the 3-day I've Had Enough Life Challenge. Anybody on or off Facebook can not only join the group, but they can also watch the live stream and comment. So please join us. Thank you again for myself, for C, for Jesse, and for Bettina. We're tapping out for today, but we will see you again tomorrow. Have an amazing day and make it your best life. Awesome.